Hello, I'm here with my September book haul and a little bit of an unboxing. I've had this little beauty for a couple of days now, waiting for me to do my September book haul, so let's get this open. I have 4 hardcover books in here, and I had a $5 off coupon, which brought my total to be just under $20, which is awesome for hardcovers. The first book I have is one that I actually hadn't heard about, but it's from one of my favorite authors, and that is Unwept by Tracy and Laura Hickman. And this is a first book in a series, and I actually didn't really look into this very much because Tracy Hickman, one of my favorite fantasy authors, so he's pretty much an auto-buy-author for me, and the fact that I didn't even know that this was out is crazy. The second book I have is actually damaged. I think I'm gonna have to talk to them about that. But it's Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, and the bottom of the book is all beat up. I'll take the cover off and show you because the inside of the cover is supposed to be really pretty. So, there's that. And the bottom here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's all torn. And the top kind of is too. This wasn't supposed to be a scratch and dent. And the cover on the bottom here is torn too. I guess I'm gonna have to talk to them about that. Makes me sad. The next book I have been hearing a lot about on the booktube. I haven't been wanting to pick it up because I hadn't read anything from this author yet, but I finally have, so I picked it up. And that is The Crane Wife by Patrick Ness. And I don't remember a lot about this, but I recently read A Monster Calls, and I loved it, and I've heard people raving about this, so I found it on Book Outlet. It was in hardcover, and I wanted it in hardcover, so it's smaller than the others. Oh! I got another $5 coupon. I just used one on this order, so I can't get rid of those things. Not that I'm complaining. I love getting them. And the last book in this order is The Song Will Save Your Life by Leila Sales, and I've heard a lot of good things about this. I've heard Emma Books loves this. I don't know. It intrigues me. I love music, and I love how music can affect people, and I have no words. I just want to read it. Now on to the rest of the book haul. I actually placed my first order on the Barnes & Noble app, and which is just essentially barnesandnoble.com. But I was looking at the bargain books, and I had heard that some particular books were in the bargain books section. So I checked it out, and I got a few books. I had to get over $25 to get the free shipping, and I pre-ordered a book, and I ordered this back in July, but the pre-ordered book didn't come out until September 6th, I think. So they weren't shipping it until that came out, and then they didn't have it in stock whenever it was supposed to be shipped, so they delayed the shipment. And then they shipped the books out separately anyway, and then shipped the pre-order separately. So I was like, why didn't they just ship the original books and then ship the pre-order, because it would have ended up being the same thing. Whatever. So I ended up getting like 3 shipments from Barnes & Noble when I should have only gotten 1. So the books that I got in my first box: William Shakespeare's Complete Plays, which after I ordered this, I think I want to get just William Shakespeare's Complete Works, but I'm gonna have to look into it some more. Then I got Best Love Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen, which I already have the complete Grimm's fairy tales, so I had to pick this one up so I could get more fairy tales. Because I want to read all the old fairy tales, especially the ones that like Disney movies are based off of. I want to read all the old original fairy tales and all their dark goodness. Because the originals are so much darker than Disney makes them out to be. Then I picked up Night Film by Marissa Peschel, and this is a mystery novel, and I haven't looked into it a whole lot, but Raylene over at Padfoot and Prong 07 recently read this, and she was raving about it. And actually I ordered it before she read it, so that's pretty cool. But it made me want to read it even more. I don't have very many mystery books, and whenever I had looked into this, it looked really intriguing, so I figured I'd give it a chance. This next one I thought was hardcover, but it ended up being paperback, but I think it was on sale for like $2, so I'm not gonna complain too much. That is The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult. I recently read Between the Lines, and I loved it. And I was looking into just more of her books. And the only thing I know about this really is that there is baking and there is loneliness and secrets. And that's all I really know. But it was $2 and I've been wanting to read more of her stuff, so I figured I'd pick this up and see if I like it as well. So I got that box of books in the mail, and then for some reason this book got delayed, and it wasn't the pre-order book, but it's H.P. Lovecraft Great Tales of Horror, and it's almost October, so I want to be reading scary stuff, so H.P. Lovecraft. And I don't really have any of his stuff, so I figured I'd pick this up. I think it was like $3 or $4. And now on to my pre-order. This is a box set, and it is a Neil Gaiman box set with illustrations by Chris Rydell, and this is the UK editions. I have The Graveyard Book, which I think is supposed to be a retelling of The Jungle Book. I have Coraline, which I've seen the movie for, and I loved the movie, so after I found out that it was a book, I wanted to get the book. And then this next one was kind of like a bonus. The other two I actually really wanted to get. This one I didn't really care either way, but it was part of the box set, so I ended up getting it too. And that is Fortunately the Milk. And this one is pretty much a dad goes off to get milk for his kids, and it is the story of his adventures that happened while he went to get milk. I've already read these two, and they will be in my September wrap-up. I haven't read The Graveyard Book yet, but I want to get to this pretty soon. And the rest of these I got off of Amazon. The first one is Dragons of Spring Dawning, Volume 1 by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. So now I have the Dragons of Autumn Twilight and Dragons of Spring Dawning, Volumes 1 and 2. I'm still missing Dragons of Winter Night, which is actually the second volume in the series. So I have volumes 1, 3, and 4. And I'm only missing the Dragons of Winter Night. And once I get that, I can read these, because this is going to be a fast read. But look at those drawings. So pretty. This next book I honestly bought just because of one of the short stories that I heard about in this book. It's actually an anthology, and that is Geektastic Stories from the Nerd Herd. And this has stories from several different authors in it, including M.T. Anderson, Libba Bray, Cassandra Clare, John Green, Hope Larson, David Levithan, Kelly Link, Barry Liga, Tracy Lynn, Wendy Mass, Garth Nix, Brian Lee O'Malley, Cynthia and Greg Light Smith, Scott Westerfeld, Lisa Yee, and Sarah Czar. And several of these authors I'm actually very interested in, and a few of them I've been looking into, but I haven't read any of their stuff yet. And the story that I wanted to read out of this is by Libba Bray, and it's called It's Just a Jump to the Left. And I love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I watch it around Halloween every year, and it's almost October, so another Rocky Horror kind of, I guess, themed story to read. I guess that's what I get from the title of it. And I don't remember how I found it, but once I looked at the book, it's like, there's John Green and Cassandra Clare, and I haven't heard of this before. So definitely looking forward to reading a bunch of the other stories in this as well. The next book I have been trying to get in hardcover for a long time because I've been hearing a lot about this book, and the second book in the series just came out and everybody's raving about it. Everybody was raving about this one, and that is The Diviners by Libba Bray. And if you don't know why I had to get the hardcover, first off, I really want to get the second book before it comes out in paperback, and I'd like them to be the same, so hardcover. And second, if you haven't seen it, that is what it looks like under the cover. And who doesn't want that? But this is a huge book. I really want to get into this, but I don't know how long it's going to take me to get into it. Another thing is, this is the book for the Bibliothon Book Club. I think that's what it's called. I'm going to have to look it up. But it is a book club on Goodreads hosted by the biannual Bibliothon girls. And I have participated in the biannual Bibliothon this year, and all of them seem really nice, and I've been wanting to read this book. I already had this on order before I found out that this was their book that they're going to start reading in October. Their book club reading is going over 3 months. So you have October, November, December. You try to read this hunk of a book. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be participating in that. And my last book I actually got because I ordered hair dye on Amazon, and it was an add-on item, so it would only ship if you ordered $25 worth of Amazon Prime merchandise. So I had to order something else with it, and I ended up getting the BeetleJuice cartoon DVD seasons 2 and 3, because I already have season 1, and Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And everybody's been raving about this, and I had to get it in hardcover because there's still more books coming out, so I'm going to have to get all of them in hardcover, because if I am as interested in this book as everybody else has been, because I love fantasy, but if I'm as interested in this book as everybody else is, then I'm going to need the books as soon as they come out, and that means getting them in hardcover. Okay, sorry about the angle change, or I forgot 3 books. I went to Evansville to visit my mom the other day, and we found this amazing bookstore called the Book Warehouse, and it's a used bookstore. I'd never heard of it before. I just heard about it like a week ago, and I talked to the guy, and he said that they'd been there for like 15 years, and I'm like, nobody's heard of you. Like, nobody I know that has like looked for used bookstores has heard of this place until recently, so I don't know how they could be there for 15 years. I don't know. But I got 3 books, and that ended up being about $15, which was awesome considering what books I got. So the first book is another hardcover from my Xanth series that I've been trying to get in the hardcovers. And my current copy of this is actually a mass market paperback former library book that has the plastic coating over the front and back covers, and it looks horrible. It's been abused so bad, and the reason why I'm trying to get them in the hardcovers instead of the mass market paperbacks is the hardcovers tend to be in much better condition, and I really love this series, and now I'm trying to get them in really nice copies because most of the copies that are the mass market paperback are just trashed. So I got Harpy Time by Piers Anthony, and this is from like 93, I think? I forget. Sorry, this is from 94, and this is a first edition, so that was an awesome find. The next book I got is also a Piers Anthony book, but it is an autobiography. I already have Bio of an Ogre, which is, I believe, just a biography, but this is an autobiography. And that is How Precious Was That While? And I don't know, I want to get all of the Piers Anthony now, and apparently I want them all in hardcover because they're so pretty. I mean, look at those covers. Are they not gorgeous? Oh, and here's the backs. Look at that waterfall. And look at that dude. Sorry. I love fantasy. And these may be like kind of, whoop. And these may be kind of like cheesy, everyday fantasy covers, but I love them. And the next book I am so happy that I found, and it was $5. It's kind of falling apart, but for me it is worth the $5. And that is The Poems of Alfred Tennyson, Volume 1, 1830 through 1856. And this matches an Edgar Allan Poe book that I have. Like, it has the same little indentation or crest or something for the publishing company on the front. It has the same gold design on the ends, and it was printed in 1912, the same as this. Also, somebody has all these annotations in here. I think that they used it for a class, and it says this came in 4 styles of binding: cloth, flat black with a colored top, leather with round corners or a gilt top, library binding in cloth, and quarter pigskin. And I think this one and the one that I had is the library binding in cloth. I'm not sure, but you can see where the top is torn a little bit and the bottom is torn a little bit, and you can feel if you feel the binding. The binding itself is good, so the pages aren't coming apart at all, but they're totally separated from the spine, so I have to be really careful with this. But it was $5, and it matches the Edgar Allan Poe that I already have, and I'm so excited, and I'm shaking with excitement. But now I want to look for the other things that were printed in this. I mean, I know they're 1912, so it might be really hard to find, but the fact that I found 2 books that are in this, I'm so happy. Now, let's see if I can get all of these in frame. Okay, they're all in frame. So, this is going down. Wow, sitting on the floor is just barely out of frame. So, that is my September book haul. And that is all I have for this video, so I'll see you next time.